Hello there, Reader Fan Bam. Welcome back to Bookstorm, the storm you didn't ask for, but the storm that I'm gonna deliver. Today's episode is sponsored by Inkyard Press. If you don't know what Bookstorm is, it's a jolly, hoppin', stormin', bookish good time. It's raining books. Hallelujah, it's raining books. It's a series on my channel where we embark on a bookish storm and try to get hit with some inspiration to read our lives away. Without further ado, let's kick it off with our reader oath. On today's episode of Bookstorm, Jesse promises to pop, lock, and read it. That sounded better in my head. And take your mind off the chaos of the world, even if just for a little bit. Signed, Jesse the Reader. The next segment that I have here is recent book pickups. I only have one book to show you guys today, even though it's technically a trilogy and I'm going to talk about 3 books. But I have been a good boy recently in terms of picking up books, so pat on the back for me, even though I give myself a pat on the back when I get my hands on a lot of books too, so... Anyway, recently I got my hands on the last book in the Shadow of the Fox trilogy, and that is Night of the Dragon. Such an epic title. Night of the Dragon! I'll stop now, but like I said, this is the final book in a trilogy. We've got the first book, Shadow of the Fox, the second book, Soul of the Sword, and again, the third book, Night of the Dragon. I told myself I wouldn't do the voice again. I just recently reread the first book because I knew that it would be a book that I would want to reread before I continued on with the trilogy, and I was reminded of how much I love it. My love for you has reignited. It's like we got married all over again. I want to spend eternity with you on my bookshelf. I originally read this book back in 2018 and had a slow burn romance with it. I read it and I was like, ooh, I like it. Then the more that I spent away from it, the more that I couldn't stop thinking about it. It consumed my noggin and I found myself obsessively thinking about it. Because when I love a book, it's all I think about. And the rest is history. It made my favorites list that year and now the final book is here, so now I can devour this trilogy. In natural Jesse fashion, I have yet to read the second book. So I'm not technically prepared for this book, both in the fact that I haven't read the second book yet and that I'm just not emotionally prepared to finish this trilogy yet. Like, I don't want to say goodbye to these characters just yet. So I might take my time in reading these last 2 books so I can really get all the flavors of the story and just soak it in like a sponge. If you don't know anything about this trilogy, it's inspired by Japanese mythology, which may or may not have been the initial appeal in me kind of being interested in these books. It takes place in a version of Japan where 1,000 years ago this dragon came and granted this wish that pushed the land into an age of darkness. But thank the heavens, a new age is about to dawn. I hope a new age is about to dawn for us here in the real world too. Whomever gets their hands on the scroll of 1,000 prayers will have their wish granted. If it lands in the hands of someone good, then obviously they'll be in good hands, and they'll be able to turn the world into a better direction. And if not, then they'll just walk their way back into an age of darkness. We follow 2 different characters. The first character that we follow is Yumeko, who is half human, half fox, aka Kitsune, and Kage Tatsume, who is a samurai. They end up working together, but they're also secretly like working against each other, as they're both on a journey to get their hands on the scroll. It's really interesting being in these characters' heads because of the fact that they are working together but also working against each other, because there is so much tension. It's a grand old time. This trilogy is in stores now, so I will leave more information as to where you can get it down below in the description. The next segment that we have is transforming characters into YouTubers. For this segment, I will be creating YouTube channel concepts for fictional characters, but also leaving it in the hands of the book gods. I had you guys submit numbers to me over on Twitter at jessethereader if you want to follow me. I'm going to use those numbers to find books and to curate some kind of YouTube channel for a fictional character. Bookish fate is taking over the wheel here. Let's get started. First up, we have the character. I'm using these numbers: 2, 4, 23. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Champion! This technically has 2 main characters, so June or Day or Day or June. You know what? I'm gonna flip a coin. Coin acquired. Tails for Day, heads for June. I haven't flipped a coin in a minute, so here we go. Whoa! Oh, we got Tails! Who did I say Tails was for again? Day? I think I said Day. I hope so. We're going with Day. I honestly don't know if I could ever see Day being a YouTuber. I mean, he is pretty sure of himself, and I guess that is a good trait to have when being a YouTuber. Like, the confident ones thrive. The self-conscious ones, like me, have meltdowns every week. Yep, it me. Also, his sarcastic levels are through the roof, and that could definitely shine through on camera, though on the flip side, it could also get him in trouble because people like to take things and twist them and make things entirely different than what they actually are. He's also hecka smart, so I feel like the whole process of making videos would be super easy for him. I've talked it out and now I'm like, he'd be a great YouTuber. Now we have to figure out what his channel focus is going to be about. What is he going to talk about on his YouTube channel? I'm using these numbers: 3, 4, 9. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoop. Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. I'm actually a little bit sad about this because of the fact that I didn't want him to be a booktuber, but like this book sets him up to be a booktuber. I was gonna like flip the page and try to find a topic, but like no. Booktuber confirmed. I do think that I'm gonna have him have like a niche within the booktube community though. Like he is going to be focused on bookstores alone. He's gonna do bookstore vlogs. He's gonna do bookstore interviews with like the workers and whatnot and make bookstore documentaries. He's not gonna be like all the other booktubers. Now we've got to figure out his username. I'm going to be using these numbers, 3, 2, 19. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And the book is The Book of Dust, which honestly, that title alone could be his username. I'm not gonna make it his username, but like, that's a pretty solid username if you ask me. But I'm gonna flip to a random page and come up with the username using random words from that page. Let's flip the page. Flip, flip, flip. Okay, page 209. Scholar, seeking, Oakley, my dog's name. Work, legacy, book, lost, Oxford, safe, house, domestic, lord. Ooh, you know what? Book Lord. Day is going to be the book lord of booktube. That's a winner in my book. Finally, we need a channel opener, the way he's going to introduce his videos, the way he's going to pull his viewers in. I picked this set of numbers, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Whatcha? It's the book The Way You Make Me Feel. A book I haven't read yet. Pretends to be shocked. Again, I'm going to flip, flip, flip to a random page, and the first line that I see with my eyeballs will be the opener. Okay, here we go. I'm going with this page. It's page 60. I'm trying not to look at anything yet. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Just deal with it. Just deal with it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Ooh, that don't sound too good. That doesn't sound like a great intro. That sounds like a pretty awful intro if you ask me. I'm not sure that's gonna pull in his viewers. It was the first line I saw. I don't like it, but it's also not my channel, not my problem. Sorry, Day. There were some other lines that could have worked great, like this one, coming right up. Can't you just do your job? You're such an incompetent clown. I swear to God, I am going to kick you both out of here unless you calm down. Those all would have been solid intros, but instead we just got just deal with it. All right, that was the YouTube channel concept we created today. We've got Day, the booktuber book lord. Not too bad, honestly. He needs a new intro, but regardless, I'd watch, I'd subscribe, I'd smash the bell icon and put notifs on. The next segment we have today is Adapt That Book, the segment where I talk about weird adaptations of books that I want, I need, I must have. There have been some interesting book adaptation type things happening out there recently. Like we've had the Percy Jackson musical, like what the heck? A full-on musical about Percy Jackson, sign me up. We have this Throne of Glass game that I was sent that I have nobody to play with. We have manga adaptations, we have graphic novel adaptations, and it's got me thinking about some weird adaptations that I have been wanting. Maybe not weird, I mean some of these are like a little bit weird, itty bitty weird, but I think they're cool. Now this segment was definitely inspired by my reread of The Shadow of the Fox, which I obviously talked about this trilogy earlier, but as I was rereading The Shadow of the Fox, I remembered how much it reminds me of an anime and how badly, and I mean badly, but badly, I need this. I need an anime adaptation of this trilogy. It's just gotta happen. In terms of like the visual writing, you just can't help but have your mind go there. At least I couldn't help my mind go there, and that's because I love anime, and something about the way it was written, I just couldn't help but imagine it as an anime as I was reading it, and it was epic! My dudes, epic! There's actually been several books that I've kind of visualized in that way, but regardless, I feel like this one would translate flawlessly into anime territory. It honestly low-key reminds me of Inuyasha, which at this point is kind of like a classic anime. It's definitely got major Inuyasha vibes, and I just think it'd be really cool to see a book series be translated into an anime, which technically speaking, most animes start out as books because they start out as mangas and then they're translated into animes. Not always, but a lot of the time. I just think it'd be cool to see a trilogy like this, one that's in like the YA book world, be translated into an anime. I'm also just trash for the story and trash for anime, so there we go. I'm just trash. The next one is inspired by my recent addiction with Animal Crossing, which can I just say that recently I've been trading out reading for Animal Crossing. It's a problem. I need to get back on track with my reading life, but your boy has been deep in the world of Animal Crossing. To be fair, I've been playing it with a lot of my bookish friends, but yeah, I need to get back on the reading grind. But as I've been playing Animal Crossing, it's made me think of the books The Doldrums, and how nice it would be for these books to be developed into a game like this. Now these books are already pretty visual, like they have these stunning images throughout it, and also they just have beautifully descriptive words. And I could just imagine playing some kind of build your own life game inspired by these books within this world. Even though this world is our world, it's just better, much better than the current state we're in. But we don't want to talk about that. Nope. The main character actually has a collection of oddities that he's gotten from his famous explorer grandparents, so that could be a part of the game. And they also also encounter several interesting people throughout the story, and you definitely encounter several interesting characters in the Animal Crossing world as well. It would be a perfect game in my mind, y'all. And finally, this is where the adaptions kind of get a little bit wonky, but you know what? I had this idea and I'm gonna run with it. I think it would be so cool to play an escape room inspired by One of Us is Lying. Now, I know this would be a weird adaptation, but I think it would be so fun. Also, I just find escape rooms so fun, even though they're super expensive and I have no one to do them with. The one time that I did it, I had a blast. 10 out of 10, would do it again. I just need to make friends outside of my internet friends that I can meet up with and hang out with. If only I could pull fictional characters out of their books. The room could be a classroom, obviously, and you have 30 minutes to an hour to figure out who the murderer is, and somebody within the room, somebody in your group has been assigned as the murderer, and there are clues leading up to who it is. Like, tell me that doesn't sound fun. I mean, actually, if you don't think it sounds fun, don't tell me, because I think it sounds fun, and don't ruin my happy parade over here. I'd play it. Anybody want to play with me? Any takers? Hey? Whoa, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Bookstorm. Let me know down below in the comments any future segments that you guys would like to see. Also, let me know down below in the comments which fictional character you would love to see be a YouTuber and what you think their channel would be all about. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires. I've got a trilogy to read and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye!